the studio in the Office of Student Media at George Mason University. It's the Mason Cable Night Show with Cody Borden. With tonight's guest, the Vice President for University Life, Rose Pascarell. Here's your host, Cody Borden.
Hello everybody and welcome to the season finale of the Mason Cable Night Show. I'm your host Cody Borden. We have another great show for you tonight. The Vice President for University Life, Rose Pascarell, will be joining us in just a few moments. Now last week here on campus was International Week, better known as I Week. It's a special time of year where all the different cultures and heritages are celebrated here on campus. We decided to join the festivities and go to the flag parade on our new segment we like to call Good Going George. Welcome everybody to this week's segment of Good Going George. As you can see, I am at the I-Week Flag Parade and we are here to talk to people about diversity and inclusion here on campus. What is your favorite thing about I-Week?
The parade, just the culture, everybody getting together.
I like seeing all the different diversity that Mason has.
Walking on the campus, around campus. Yeah, it's really cool.
You see so many cultures around here. Come on, that's got to be the favorite thing about I-Week. It's very good that Mason honors all the cultures and all the countries in this 1 week, so it's good to be a part of it.
What flags are you carrying today?
Macedonia.
Albania.
Everybody knows India. We are 1.25 billion of them.
Different clothes stands for different ethnic groups. China has 56 ethnic groups.
Wow.
Yeah, so every group has different language, different culture, but it's very similar.
How important is it for the campus to celebrate all of this diversity?
It's pretty important just to get everybody together, especially when there's political conflict between the countries. It's important to see everybody together.
Yeah, I would agree with that, definitely. And to see all the accepting environment of everyone's diversity and to celebrate and appreciate that.
Different countries get together and put up their flags. It's a good opportunity to show different cultures.
I think we are an integral part of this university and it's definitely good to be represented, and that's what Mason does. I mean, it honors and values all the cultures and country and its people. So it's good to be here.
Welcome back to the Mason Cable Night Show, everybody. I'm joined now by the Vice President for University Life, Rose Pascarell. How are you?
Good, great. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you for being on. This is an honor. So you're the Vice President for University Life, and they are incredibly important to the campus. You deal in areas such as career readiness, civic engagement, multicultural competency, and student well-being. So what are some of the ways ULife helps or encourages students in each of these categories?
University Life is really the division on campus that provides a ton of services for students and programs for students outside the classroom, right? So you've got your academic major and your academic minor, and then the programs that University Life offered should kind of help support your learning in those academic majors. So we organize our programming around 4 themes, all of them important to student success. For example, well-being. The institution wants to be a well-being university. Students can take core courses in well-being. They can become part of the well-being living learning community. We offer a whole set of practices around mindfulness, around building your strengths, knowing what your strengths are, and then using them, kind of to your advantage as you're in your classes and in your relationships and as you think about future career plans. We've also got a whole set of programs we organize around kind of postgraduate success. So as you move through your majors and think about what you want to do when you graduate, kind of how do you prepare yourself to get into whatever the next phase of your life is. Whole set of programs and services. University Career Services is part of University Life. And then, of course, one of Mason's core values is diversity as our strength. We have an incredibly diverse student population, and it takes work to figure out how to be in community with folks who are different than ourselves. So in a community like Mason's, where the diversity is so rich, there's a whole set of programs that students can take advantage of that focus on intercultural competency, that focus on creating a kind of culturally engaging environment for students, how to work together with folks who may have different practices than you do. And then there's a whole focus on civic engagement. So that could look like being involved in leadership activities. It could mean hosting a TV show the way you and Angelique does behind the scenes. But, kind of what are the skills that you develop outside the classroom that kind of help prepare you as you move into the world, and engage you to be an active member of society. So all of those kind of programs are sponsored by University Life.
As the vice president, what's your role in all of that?
My role is really to help make sure that the pieces connect, right? And that students know what the options are that they have, and to work with this incredible team of professionals. If you've gone into a University Life office, if you've worked with people in the lead office or the orientation office or disability services or career services, you know that there's a whole bunch of really dedicated folks who are really committed to student success. My job is to help make the connections and kind of help raise the priorities to the president and the provost around what's needed to ensure student success. But when you've got an amazing team like the team in University Life, that's pretty easy.
What would you say is the most rewarding part of your position?
When you think about big data, like what's really rewarding is to see student retention rates and student graduation rates and students' overall well-being on the increase. Like that tells me that we're doing the right thing. That tells me students are getting what they deserve to get out of an education at George Mason. So kind of in a big data way, that's really rewarding to see, and we want to keep seeing those success numbers go up. On a personal level, I started out as a practitioner in student services, working directly with students. So I think my favorite thing to do is to meet with students, and every couple of weeks I meet with a group of students for lunch. We talk about the student experience at Mason. It's great to have all this data and all these stats and all these percentages, but when it comes down to it, when you're talking to a student one-on-one or in a group, you really get a sense of what's working at Mason, what's not working at Mason. Those moments are really enriching to me.
So this moment right now.
So this moment with you, Cody, and Angelique behind the camera are incredibly rewarding.
What specific resources are available to students on the ULife website?
There's a whole set of the offices that are part of University Life and the services that we provide. You go to the RAC, you go to the Aquatic Center, all of those services are part of, kind of what you pay when you pay tuition and fees. So belonging, to a club sport or intramural or one of the 350 student organizations on campus, all of those organizations and services are hosted by University Life. But then there's kind of the direct services. So, counseling and psychological services available to students at no cost. You want to go in and talk to someone around stress management or time management or other more serious issues, there's someone on campus you can talk to. If you have a learning disability or a physical disability, there are folks in disability services, career advisors and career services. If you're an international student and you're trying to figure out kind of visa regulations, you might go to international programs and services, leadership, education and development, orientation, family programs and services. So again, I like to say there's the amazing in-class experience, and then so much outside of the classroom are the services and the programs that are offered by University Life.
Jumping off of that,
Yeah.
on the website, you have a letter that you wrote to the students, and there's a quote in that letter that really stuck out to me. I'm going to read it here.
Okay.
Your choices will define your Mason experience. Be curious and take risks. Don't stop learning when the class ends. The learning opportunities that take place outside of class are equally interesting. Take advantage of the entire Mason experience so you can discover what you are truly passionate about doing in and for the world. To the student that might be a little nervous or doesn't know what that first step is, what advice would you give them?
So a couple things. One, I truly believe that for students who have the time and the interest to take advantage of what's offered outside the class, and again, as a student, you pay for everything in the classroom and outside the classroom, right? So to truly take advantage of what a college experience is can be pretty transformative. And the only thing students are limited by really is their time and ability to participate. Now, if you're kind of a shy student or an introverted student, that's how I would identify myself as an undergraduate. I needed a lot of nudging in order to do something more, than go to class and go back to my room after class was over. For me, it was a faculty member who kind of took me under her wing and was like, you know what, there's more to a college experience than your 3 credits in this class. And that made a huge difference for me. So for a student who's kind of wanting to get involved but isn't quite sure, is maybe a little bit more introverted or would define themselves as, more introspective and shy, I would say challenge yourself, stretch yourself, find another student who's involved and talk to them about how they got involved, find a staff member that looks like it could be a good person to talk to, find a faculty member that you trust, and, get 20 minutes with someone and see if you can feel a little bit more comfortable about easing into joining an organization or some kind of activity. It's not easy. I mean, this is a big community. It's a lot of students. And if you're not kind of inclined to do that, it really is about stretching yourself, but it's also about saying, you know what, this is going to be uncomfortable. This is going to be awkward. I'm going to walk through the door and go to this meeting, or I'm going to walk into this office, and it's okay. That's okay. And, kind of see where that takes you. I think the stretch that you make is worth, kind of the outcome.
Thank you so much for having this discussion.
It's a great conversation.
Do you have time to stick around and play a game?
Absolutely.
Alrighty. Well, when we get back, we're going to play the Newlyclose Game. Welcome back to the Mason Cable Night Show, everybody. I'm here with the University Life Vice President, Rose Pascarell, and we're about to play the Newlyclose Game. Now, this game is exactly like the Newlywed Game, if you ever watched that. Angelique, my producer, is about to ask us specific questions, and whoever the question is directed towards has to answer it, but the other person has to try and guess what that person's answer is. So, without further ado, Angelique, if you will ask the first question.
Okay. First question, what is Rose's favorite TV show?
Favorite TV show. So, go ahead, write down your answer, and then I have to guess what. Don't let me see it.
I'm so not letting you see it.
I have to psychoanalyze you here. Write down a random.
I'm not even going to look at what you're writing.
Okay.
Okay. Ready?
Yes.
So am I holding mine up now too?
Yeah, go ahead.
I said Game of Thrones.
Oh, no.
I was close. It's a new
close?
TV show. It's a new TV show.
I don't know about that.
So not close.
No.
So not close.
Question number 2, who is Cody's top favorite musical artist?
Oh, okay.
I'm writing under the table so you can see it. Don't get any ideas over here. If you get this right, I'm going to do a backflip.
Yeah.
Do you know the answer?
I do, yeah.
I'm not trying to cheat to all you viewers out there.
Okay. Ready? And go.
Who'd you say?
Oh. Michael Bublé.
Michael
He said unexpected. Jacob. Oh my God.
Not quite
Okay.
Michael Bublé.
We clearly don't know each other well
Oh
enough
my God.
yet.
Newlyclose.
That's what this game is for.
Newlyclose.
Yeah.
We're about to be best friends.
All
All right.
So, third question. If Rose had the choice between chocolate or candy, which one would she choose?
Oh, I know this. This is easy.
Okay.
All right.
All ready?
Dun.
Oh, upside down.
Oh!
Are we right?
Yes.
Hey!
Right.
We're getting
It
better.
has to mean something good.
We're getting better. Game is working.
All right, guys. Fourth question.
Oh, boy.
What sport does Cody watch in his free time?
Oh my gosh, why are you asking these questions? Okay.
If you get this,
Yeah.
And then you keep saying that. Like you're going to come up with some random. Okay, what sport?
I'll write 2, so if you get 1, then we'll count it. All right.
Go ahead.
Pro wrestling and hockey. Football. I like football. I watch football.
Okay, but let's not give me a pity point.
Okay.
I didn't get that right.
Last question. If Rose had the chance to go on vacation right now, where would she go?
Ooh. Rose has to think about that.
Seem like a beachy person. You like beaches?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm not giving you more of a hint than that.
Okay.
Boom.
What did you say? Maui.
See, I thought we were close. I thought you were going to
It's
say
an island.
Hawaii,
Both
and
islands.
I was right.
I said Caribbean because it's a broad area, so I
Yeah.
thought.
I just came back from the Caribbean, which is
Oh, did you?
Oh, wow.
So
All right. Well, I think we're newly close now. That was an effective game.
absolutely,
We
I
got
feel
one.
like I know you
Uh-huh.
so much better.
Yeah.
I feel like we could go out to dinner together
Absolutely.
and never stop talking.
Uh-huh.
You could take my son, my family. They could ask you a million questions. Yeah, absolutely.
Just fit right in.
Yeah, no question.
Like a glove. Well, thank you so much for being on the show.
Great to be
It was really
here.
an honor.
Yes, well, great to meet you and both of you.
Yep. And thank you for watching. Whether this is your first episode or your 10th, your support in all of this has meant the absolute world to me. If you want to learn more about university life, be sure to go on the website at ulife.gmu.edu.
Want to learn more about Cody? In about 10 years, he'll be your late night show host.
Hopefully.
At 11:30. He will be competing with Jimmy Fallon. Jimmy Fallon will be losing.
Well, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thanks.